So, who's your favorite Dragon Ball character?
That's a tough question, but my favorite Dragon Ball character. It's actually not a tough question. It's easily Vegeta. He's one of the coolest characters in fictional history. I mean, he starts out as bad guy. He comes to Earth. He's one of the Dragon Balls for immortality, and he turns into this great ape. He's just this awesome, tiny guy, and he's got this big sidekick who he's far more powerful than, and even kills him just because he fails. And then, he kind of slinks back into his ship and goes back to Frieza Planet, heals, and he's got this vendetta against Kakarot. And, I mean, he's still pretty cool. And then on Namek, I mean, he's just basically trolling Frieza and Gohan and Krillin the whole time. He's out for himself only and is just basically fighting anyone who gets in his way. And then he really just kind of, throughout means of surviving, befriends like Gohan and them, because Frieza, is Frieza and is transformed, and Vegeta's got to survive somehow, which he doesn't. But he basically just befriends Gohan and Goku and them, and then once he gets to Earth, he's just like, I'm homeless, so I'll just, shack up with this rich broad. And then, him and Bulma get together, and that's it's an actually kind of cute, love story for Dragon Ball. And then he has Kid and gets all soft, and he's just one of the characters with the most growth out of everyone in Dragon Ball, because he starts out major selfish dick, grows a tiny bit, and then Cell Saga comes around, goes right back to major selfish dick. Let Cell get perfect, endangers the entire universe to test his strength, and then he's still not enough. But then Buu Saga comes around, and he full on has grown so much. I mean, Vegeta just literally sacrifices himself for the greater good of the Earth because he's fallen in love with Bulma and his son Trunks. And then he also meets a big milestone and admits that Goku is indeed better than him, and he just basically comes to a moment of inner peace and clarity that he doesn't have to be the best. He is just the best in his own right and in someone's eyes, like the eyes of his son, and that's the reason Vegeta is my favorite character.
You're better than me, Kakarot. You are the best.
Favorite Dragon Ball character? For a long time, it was Vegeta. Until I realized that he is basically just a reason to say cool things and do cool stuff. And then later on, I started really liking Krillin, oddly enough. When I was younger, I thought, he kind of sucks. He just gets his ass kicked all the time. But he keeps trying, and that's what really just nailed it for me. Because, I mean, he gets his neck broken several times, almost gets killed a couple of times, gets killed more than anybody else, but he is still on the front lines. And, I mean, Destructo Disc. It's one of the best techniques. Goku even copies it in one of the movies. I mean, as a kid, he was pretty much just a dick. But he later became a really balanced out adult and basically the heart of the team. I mean, most people would have quit fighting the moment they died the first time. But he kept going for years after that. And being a genuinely nice guy, he gets the girl. I mean, he was like, hey, that android's pretty hot. And then she went with it. And I mean, who else does that?
Don't know why I'm getting up again. It'd be much easier to kill over. I know back in the day, I never would have done this. Guess I only have Goku and Gohan to blame. Those two guys really changed me for keeps. And someday, I'll get them for that.
If you can't tell by my shirt, it's easily Piccolo. he's pretty much been my favorite since the beginning. Like, I didn't watch Dragon Ball before Z, so Piccolo showed up in the Raditz arc and was like, "Hey Goku, this guy's strong. We should probably team up." And there, I could tell there was some history there. I didn't know there was a prequel series, but you could tell there was some history there. And Goku was like, "I'm not doing that." "Yeah, I am." And then they flew off and went and got him. And Piccolo straight up murdered Raditz and Goku in one shot. The two rivals he's ever had in his life. Dead. And then he kidnapped his kid, just, for fair measure. Really to train him. Day one, he grabs this kid by the head and throws him at a mountain just to see what he'll do and show him that he's powerful. And from then on, he started training this kid, and he grew to like him, and he petted him on the head one time and gave him apples. And he grew into Gohan's real father, because Goku's never around. Goku's the worst father in fictional history, that outside of the abusers and the straight up abandonment. Goku's terrible. But Piccolo nurtured this kid, sacrificed himself for this kid in the fight against Nappa. Namek Saga comes around, he's dead for most of it. Frieza comes up, second form. They wish Piccolo back before second form, but second form Frieza, he fuses with Nail, comes in and just wrecks second form Frieza. It was pretty even for a second, but you could tell who the superior fighter was here. Then, of course, Goku had to come save the day like normal. We get to the Android arc. Pretty much the same thing happened. They got trounced, and Piccolo was like, "I got one other Namek I got in my pocket here." And he went to Kami, became one with Kami again, because they're the same being, so it's not technically a fusion this time, because they're the same being. But he came back and fought the strongest android outside of 16, but we didn't know that yet. The one who proclaimed himself the strongest android, 17, evenly. And it was, in my opinion, the most even fight in Dragon Ball. It was so awesome. They were both giving it their all. Then after that, whoever writes these stories, Toriyama, whoever, let him drop off kind of off the map a little to like a more background character, and that's a shame. He still remained my favorite, even through all the attempts to bring him out of relevance. But mainly his growth with Gohan and his growth as a character overall into the good, smart, like efficient battle strategist he is today is the reason Piccolo is my favorite Dragon Ball character.
This is amazing! I feel incredible! Yes, 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 yes! I can win! I feel great! I can do this! Ugh. Yes, I'm home! I'm alive! This is all a miracle! I'm awake! I'm wide awake! Hang on, Gohan! Here I come!
Hey, thanks for watching. Did you like the video? Why don't you hit that like and subscribe button? It really helps us grow the channel. And don't forget to ring that bell to join our notification squad. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I put the links in the description just to make it easier for you to get to. And we will catch you next time for the next video from the Bro Trio.